Hi, this is Noemi. How are you going? Today I'm going to answer your question about the work of an ecological consultant. As far as I can remember, I have always been surrounded by animals. Guinea pig, chicken, ducks, dogs, cats. I think I had all the animals that children dream of. I was extremely lucky when I was little because I grew up with other animal lovers. My godfather in particular, he spoiled me a lot. He was always making sure I had all the pets I wanted, all the equipment I need, but also spent a lot of time in nature with me. Growing up, I became more and more aware of animal welfare, and I think my desire of owning pets turned into the desire to protect animals in their natural habitat. I believed for a long time that I wanted to become a vet. I was particularly good in science, I was in love with animals, so that was making sense to me. And I wasn't really aware about other job options I could explore in which I could work with animals. So I was thinking that being a vet was the job I wanted to do. The agricultural sector interested me a lot, but not being from a farmer family, I knew it would be very hard to become a farmer. But then growing up, I realized that what was making me happy in my life is spend time out, observe the animals, learning from them, having the privilege to develop a special relationship with them, and also just act to protect them and ensure they have a safe future. So the study I did to become an ecological consultant was I started to study veterinary science before joining an agricultural engineering school, and then I chose the urban ecology specialties in my last year of study, and I think that's what opened me the door of the ecological world. The daily life of an ecological consultant is very varied because all the projects are different. There is no day like another. In general, projects start with an initial contact with clients, which can be someone like you and me, a landowner, a school, the government, but also a business. Yes, there is a lot of different type of clients. And then the client explains me his problem, what he wants to achieve. For example, this could be an organization responsible for maintaining the parks and reserves, who want to know if a specific species is still occurring in a park, and what they could do to protect this species. Or this could be someone like you and me who want to construct a house on a property and just want to make sure that the impacts on the flora and fauna are avoided or minimized as much as possible. Then the next step is to go on site and do an assessment. So the type of data collected depends on the project objective. If we want to assess the likelihood of occurrence of a specific species, then I'm gonna set up camera traps, hair traps, or any other type of traps to detect the presence of the species by causing minimal disturbances to the ecosystem. For a project where the objective is to minimize the impact on the flora and fauna, I'm going to go out on site and do an inventory of the species living there. Then I'm going to determine their status, if they are threatened, endangered, and then I will provide my clients with recommendations on what he could do to minimize the impact on the species living on his site, but also inform him if he needs a permit or if he has any other type of obligation under the law. So overall, the daily life of an ecological consultant is a little bit of time in the office to analyze your data, write your reports, but it's also a lot of time in the field and most of the time in beautiful places. So one of your questions was about what do we do with collected data. Once I'm back in the office, I'm gonna have a look to the collected data, analyze it to be able to answer the question we are trying to solve. I'm gonna have a look to what my traps collected. So if it was hair traps, I'm going to have a look what type of hair I've got in it. So if it's a kangaroo hair, a bandicoot, or a dog hair. If it's a camera traps, then I'm going to have a look to the video and or the photo I've got and see if there is any significant species occurring on site. And if it's a list of species, then I'm going to have a look where they occur on site, what are the threats also present for these species, and what are the opportunities for improvement. It could be like exotic invasive predator. It could be the activities they are doing on site or proposing to do on site that will not be compatible with the needs of the species we want to protect. Yes, there is a lot of threats. So the data collected enable me to write a report for the client and mainly to answer the question I have been asked or provide solution for the challenge the client is facing. The type of question will be what can we do to improve the habitat of the species? How can we be better in protecting it? Is it still present? Is it a good site to reintroduce a species? Can we develop without impacting threatened species? I think that's the main question I've been asked to answer. So one of your questions was in which part of Australia do I work in? I mostly work in Southeast Australia, in Victoria. I really like this area because it's a lot of different landscape. You can have like the beach with the coastal landscape. You can get like the mountain. You can get the wet forest, the dry landscape in central Victoria. It's very diverse. So the other day I went on Phillip Island and I saw like the eastern barred bandicoot, which is like a very endangered species. You can go like in Locksport in Gippsland and see like the white-billed eagle. Yeah, there is a lot of fantastic species to observe everywhere in Victoria. How do I protect flora and fauna species? That's a very hard question. As an ecological consultant, I mostly protect them by studying them, observing them in their natural habitats, understanding their needs, and also all the threats to these species. This knowledge enables me to understand all the challenges that the species is facing, but also identify any opportunity to solve this issue and protect the species. But also I can communicate the outcome of my projects to the government representative and also provide them with some recommendation about what could be done to avoid species extinction. But as an ecological consultant, I also protect the species by salvaging them during construction, bushfire or heat wave, for example. By reintroducing them in an area where they become extinct, and also by protecting their habitat forever by setting up offset sites, for example. As an ecological consultant, I worked on a lot of different projects. One of the most recent ones was a reintroduction of a threatened mammal species, the southern brown bandicoot, in an area where this species became extinct. So to do so, I had to study the species, understand his needs, what threats are present in his environment, in his habitat, but also like if this is something possible to do to reintroduce the species in the area we are proposing to. You asked me if this is a difficult job. I would say it's more like a challenging job. One, there is a lot of species in Australia. Australia is home to approximately 600,000 native species, and on top of that, you have like all the exotic species. So all the species that have been introduced to Australia. So sometimes it can be challenging in the field to identify the different species, especially when you have like two species that kind of look similar. Two, not all the species have been studied in details, so sometimes it can be very hard to find information on a specific species. But this is your job to go out in the field and find the answer. And three, sometimes you can find yourself a bit overwhelmed about your job. Sometimes you can think that your actions are so insignificant compared to the scale of the problem. Plastic pollution, removal of natural habitats, climate change, or even just the irresponsible behavior of some people. But when I feel overwhelmed with my job, I try to remember all the positive outcomes of my project. And I tell myself before going to bed each night that to remember that I would have done the best I could to make this world a better place. You asked me if I was working alone. Sometimes yes, but most of the time I'm working with other ecologists because it's just impossible to know everything. There is so many species, so many things to know here. So yeah, it's better to work in a team. Now I'm lucky because I've got Trevor. We are doing our best to connect people to nature through the power of video.
Hi everyone, my name's Trevor and I'm so excited to meet you guys and work with you guys, and we're really looking forward to creating videos that will connect you more with nature. I'm a geoscientist and I get around quite a bit. I study nature and I make environmental films. So really happy to meet you guys.
So you asked me what I liked about my job. The answer is everything. I like everything. I like being outside, working with the most threatened species, being surrounded by like-minded people, and most of all, like contributing to the conservation of wild species. Thank you for your question. Please ask your other question here in the comment section, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. See ya!